Hi everybody, this is a presentation on accounting and its global context. So as you know that a subject known as International Financial Reporting Standard is there for the MIB students. So the students may get benefited out of it. They may know the different accounting procedures, practice and terminology followed throughout. So therefore the students they can um, get to know how they follow the accounting procedures in different countries. An introduction of that is needed to carry out this subject. So hopefully this accounting and its global context and introduction will help a lot to know about the international financial and reporting standards. And I am Dr. Parveen Banu. I head the Department of International Business, and this video is made for as a general topic under accounting and its global concept. Accounting is the language of business. As you know, any business it will communicate with other with the help of accounting terms. So this will help you to communicate with these stakeholders. So business will communicate through accounting to its stakeholders. Who are all the stakeholders of any business? So stakeholders are the people who are really attached to that business. அந்த ஒரு பர்டிகுலர் பிஸ்னஸ்ல ப்ராஃபிட் லாஸ் எதுவா இருந்தாலும் இவங்களுக்கும் ஷேர் இருக்கு. ஸோ ஷேர் இருக்கு அப்படிங்கிறப்ப யாருக்கெல்லாம் ஷேர் இருக்கு? ஒன் திங், தி பர்சன் ஹூ இன்வெஸ்ட் மணி. ஸோ இன்வெஸ்ட் பண்றவங்களுக்கு கண்டிப்பா இந்த பிஸ்னஸ்ல ஷேர் இருக்கு. தென் தி பர்சன், தி கஸ்டமர்ஸ், தே ஹாவ் அ ஷேர் இன் தட் பிஸ்னஸ். ஏன்னா நல்ல குவாலிட்டி ப்ராடக்ட்ஸ் வரணும். தென் தி எம்ப்ளாயீஸ். ஸோ இந்த மாதிரி இருக்கிறவங்க எல்லாருமே வந்து பிஸ்னஸ்ல ஸ்டேக் ஹோல்டர்ஸ். ஸோ அந்த பிஸ்னஸ்ல இருக்கிற ப்ராஃபிட் ஆர் லாஸ் வந்து அக்கௌண்டிங் மூலமா தான் ஸ்டேக் ஹோல்டர்ஸ்க்கு போகுது. நம்ம அக்கௌண்டிங் ப்ரிப்பேர் பண்ணலை அப்படிங்கிறப்போ they not know what is happening in the business. So who are all the stakeholders? Shareholders, as I told you, those who invest in the business. The creditors, யாரெல்லாம் கடன் கொடுத்திருக்காங்களோ to the business. The debt in the form of loans or mortgage or any form, or the short-term loans or credit sales, whatever it may be. So they are all responsible for the business. Then government agencies, because they have to look into the proper functioning of the business throughout and the economic situation of a particular place. So the government agencies are responsible whether the products you produce are of good quality and the products you don't harm the environment. Everything should be taken care by the government agency. And the employees, ultimately the employees, they are the people who work for the organization, and whether the organization would benefit or not, the employees, they have to get these salaries. So for collective bargaining, they have to be associated with the organization. And finally the owners, the person who invests the company, and he has started the company with so much of aim, and he has put forth his money into this without setting aside idly. So அந்த பர்சனுக்கு தான் வந்து அந்த கம்பெனி மேல அதிகமா அக்கறை இருக்கும். So he will be looking into the accounting statements, what is happening around, எவ்வளோ செலவாயிருக்கு, எவ்வளோ வந்து இன்கம் வந்திருக்கு அப்படிங்கிறது. இது throughout the world வந்து they are the stakeholders of business and you are answerable to them. So இதுதான் வந்து accounting communicates to the stakeholders. So wherever you go, whatever may be the type of business you start, இவங்க எல்லாம் தான் வந்து the stakeholders. Now, before going into the proper procedures, there are a few interesting facts on accounting. there are many facts on scientific inventions, how it has come, and who invented what, etc. Accounting as such, we just go for debit, credit, and then prepare statements. It's not a very dry subject as you think. Accounting altogether, it has something very interesting also. So we have collected a few interesting facts on accounting that is followed throughout. Do you know who is really the father of accounting? The father of accounting was Luca Pacioli. So he was the father of accounting, and he was an Italian mathematician because accounting is very much related to mathematics. He is an Italian mathematician. He published the first book about double entry bookkeeping. That is, for every debit there is an equal credit. So when you sacrifice something, you have to get back something. So this is the concept of accounting. So any layman can understand the concept. When you pay money, you get the product. So he started that concept on 10th November 1494. It's very past, and it is in the honor that International Accountants Day was started. So 10th November is the International Accountants Day. It was of his memory. His book Summa de Arithmetica Geometrica Propertina described keeping accounts for assets, liabilities, capital, income, and expenses, much like the system we use today in balance sheet and income statement. So it correlated with the same type of statements. He advocated the use of ledgers and is known for the saying, a person should not go to sleep at night until their debits and credits are equal. You know that tallying the debits and credits in a balance sheet is a difficult task, and once it tallies, how satisfied an accountant is. So therefore, it was the saying told by him that once his debits and credits doesn't tally, a person will not go for sleep. So it is a popular saying. Next, coming to the world's first accountants, uh, how they originated. So they originated in ancient Mesopotamia. So from the ancient civilization, we have a civilization of accountants also. Accounting is thousands of years old and can be traced as far back as ancient Mesopotamia. The world's first accountants worked for the temples, keeping track of taxes paid in sheep and agricultural produce for the religious authorities of the day. In the process, many historians believe they invented the practice of writing in order to keep the receipts. Prior to this development in record keeping, token system was often used to document the exchange of goods and services. So early form of bookkeeping, it was also found in ancient Iran, where they had a perfect system of bookkeeping followed. Even before other countries thought of the bookkeeping, Iran had the practice of maintaining the bookkeeping. ICAS is the oldest professional body of chartered accountants in the world. ICAS. It was founded in 1854 by Royal Charter, making it the oldest professional body of chartered accountants. It originated from Edinburgh Society of Accountants, the Glasgow Institute of Accountants, and the Actuaries and the Aberdeen Society of Accountants. So they all formed a chapter of this kind to bring uniformity of accounting throughout the world, because globalization was a buzzword even then. Even before freedom, we had contact and we had trading. We had followed the barter system of trading, and so in such a case, product sale ஒரு கண்ட்ரியிலேருந்து இன்னொரு கண்ட்ரியிலேருந்து இந்த கண்ட்ரிக்கு வந்து import export product sales or movement of goods. So when everything has to happen, definitely accounting plays a major role. So they just, if they follow a uniform system of accounting throughout, it won't be difficult for people who just uh, trade beyond boundaries. So அது எல்லாமே வந்து it was possible only with the help of accounting system. Next, coming to James Brown, James McClelland, and John Smith were the first presidents of the three institutes. Robert Gordon Simpson CA was named as the first president of ICAs in 1951. Just to know how accounting came as a revolution. You follow this accounts book and you just follow it in your banking and other system. But how it came? So these are some of the interesting facts about it. Many accounting terms have Latin roots. So most of the languages, they come from Latin roots. Accounting may be called the language of business. But do you know that many well-known accounting terms are derived from Latin? The word debit means he owes in Latin, while credit means he trusts. The word accountant is derived from the Latin computare, which means count. So a person who counts things is known as an accountant. So everything is taken from Latin. And there are a few Oscar-winning films featuring accountants as the main role. So such films are, accountants pop up in a number of Oscar-winning films. They are Itzhak Stern, then Oscar Wallace, Leo Bloom, Bud Baxter, Annie Drefstein, and Louis Telly. So all these films like Schindler's List, The Untouchables, The Producers, The Apartment, The Shawshank Redemption, and The Ghostbuster, the major character was that of an accountant. So few interesting things about accounting. The Romans were obsessed with accounting. So the Roman army kept sculptures record of cash, commodities, and transactions, and they computed revenues every day. So that was the practice of the Romans. So why few Roman numbers were established? Because every day they used to count things. The public expenditure of Emperor Augustus was even documented and quantified for the Roman people. Then next one, the founder of Pottery Company, Wedgwood, was the first cost accountant. As you know, cost accountant is a person who will determine the cost of a product. So what are all the process involved in the production of that product? A profit will be added to that, and finally you will fix the cost of that product. So this is the work of the cost accountant. So you know that a pottery company founder, he was the founder of cost accounting. So better known for his pottery and ceramic business, Josiah Wedgwood is also considered the first cost accountant. During a slump in business in 1772, Josiah began to make a concentrated effort to establish the profit or loss realized each time a particular product was sold from his factory. He recognized the sense in recording not just the cost of material and labor, but calculation for coal storage and transport. So now you can know that why we calculate everything for cost accounting. So to analyze the cost of a product, we prepare the statement of cost, we prepare the cost sheet, and find out what are all the costs involved in manufacturing a single product, and where we are spending more, where we are spending less. So decision making வேணும் அப்படின்னா definitely you will have to come across cost accounting. Next one, you know that an interesting fact is that accountants, they spend a lot of time doing their business of accounting. Meanwhile, bubble gum was invented by an accountant. So when it comes so many people, you use bubble gum in your daily routine. So it was you can take the credit of being an account students that bubble gum was introduced by a person of your kind. So US accountant Walter Dimer worked for the Fleer Corporation in the year 1920s, but his big claim to fame is that he invented bubble gum in his spare time. Then important categories of accounting information. So what are all the, now coming to the subject, excuse me, finding out what are the accounting information required. First, the operating information. So operating information is needed to conduct the day-to-day activities. So every day you record whatever happens, whatever transaction is of financial nature, you'll have to record it in accounting. Only after that you can just find out the originality of that particular transaction. Then financial accounting information. So everyone requires. So what is the finance involved in that? How much money you have spent? இது வந்து எல்லாருக்குமே தேவை. நீங்க எவ்வளோ இன்கம் வந்திருக்கு, எவ்வளோ எக்ஸ்பென்ஸ் பண்ணியிருக்கீங்க, ஒவ்வொன்றுக்கும் எவ்வளோ ஸ்பெண்ட் பண்ணியிருக்கீங்க, பிகாஸ் யூ டீல் வித் அதர் பீப்புள்ஸ் மணி. ஸோ இது வந்து எல்லாருக்குமே இந்த இன்ஃபர்மேஷன் தேவைப்படுது. நெக்ஸ்ட் மேனேஜ்மெண்ட் அக்கௌண்டிங் இன்ஃபர்மேஷன். இது எதுக்கு அப்படின்னா டெசிஷன் மேக்கிங். So when you are going to take a decision, then definitely you require the management. It requires the management accounting. அதாவது ப்ரொடக்ஷன் இவ்வளோ இன்க்ரீஸ் பண்ணா எவ்வளோ வந்து என்னால் ஸ்பெண்ட் பண்ணணும், நான் எவ்வளோ ஸ்பெண்ட் பண்ணணும், எவ்வளோ எக்ஸ்பெண்டிச்சர் ஆகும், எவ்வளோ எனக்கு ப்ராஃபிட் வரும். இப்போ எந்த ப்ரொடக்ஷன் வந்து நான் வந்து கம்மி பண்ணணும், எதில் அதிகமாக கான்சென்ட்ரேட் பண்ணணும், எந்த ப்ராடக்ட் நான் மாடிஃபை பண்ணணும் அப்படிங்கிறது எல்லாமே வந்து மேனேஜ்மெண்ட் அக்கௌண்டிங் டெசிஷன். ஸோ அதுக்கு வந்து they need information for effective planning, implementation, evaluation and control. Finally, the tax accounting information, அதாவது effective tax planning and meeting the legal requirements. So finally, when it comes to record keeping, the auditors, when GST came into existence, the most demanded profession, auditors, they ruled the country. Because GST, it is a new system. When VAT came into existence, who ruled the country? The auditors. You just, you know how to spend money, you know how to do your business, you know how to procure your products, everything. But when it comes to tax saving and tax everything, or when it comes to the approval of business plan, everything you run behind auditors. So therefore, accounting information, tax accounting information and legal requirements. So when they authenticate, you will definitely, your document will be approved by the government. So therefore, the auditors, they play a main role, and this tax accounting information is required for legal and taxation and other purpose. Now, coming to the concept. So till now we had a few discussion topics on how accounting came into existence and how accountants, they just brought in the concept of accounting. Now coming to the international accounting. Now accounting is there throughout the world. How they follow internationally? So international accounting, it deals with recording and translation of foreign transactions. You record the foreign transaction, and when a foreign transaction is recorded in a foreign currency, அதை வந்து நம்ம கரன்சிக்கு நம்ம டிரான்ஸ்லேட் பண்ணி நம்ம ப்ரிப்பேர் பண்ணுறோம். அதுதான் இன்டர்நேஷ்னல் அக்கௌண்டிங். தென் preparation and presentation of consolidated foreign financial statements. So அதாவது consolidated statement அப்படின்னா, now I will have a head office in my country, India, and I may have a branch in Germany. So இப்போ இந்த ரெண்டு main branch and also the main company, இவங்க ரெண்டு பேர்த்தோட அக்கௌண்ட்ஸும் நான் டோட்டலாக போடணும். இப்போ இந்தியாவில் நான் ருபி யூஸ் பண்ணி போட்டுருவேன். ஜெர்மன்லேருந்து வரப்போ அந்த கண்ட்ரியோட கரன்சி யூஸ் பண்ணி ஐ ஹாவ் டு கன்வெர்ட், அண்ட் அங்கே இருக்கிற டேக்ஸ் ப்ரொசீஜர்ஸ் வேரி ஆகும், அங்கே இருக்கிற இன்ட்ரெஸ்ட் ப்ரொசீஜர்ஸ் வேரி ஆகும். ஸோ பேஸ்ட் ஆன் தட் ஐ ஹாவ் டு ப்ரிப்பேர் கன்சாலிடேட்டட் அக்கௌண்ட்ஸ். இது யாருனால முடியும் அப்படின்னா ஒன்லி இன்டர்நேஷ்னல் அக்கௌண்டன்ஸ் கேன் டூ தட். Then preparation of international financial reporting in accordance with GAAP and auditing practice. So GAAP, IFRS, all these are the financial practitioners involved in international accounting. So global accounting practices, it relates to GAAP and IFRS. So we'll go deep into that once we enter the subject. But now you just know that they are the authorities behind international accounting. So அவங்க கொடுத்த standards படி வந்து நம்ம follow பண்ணி when we prepare the accounting, it is known as GAAP accounting. Now, development of international accounting. How it developed? One and only point is globalization. So when one country was able to trade with another country, we need international accounting. Expansion of world trade, and many MNC companies, they moved from their country to the Western countries, and they came to the countries where labor were available. எதனால் ஐடி கம்பெனிஸ் வந்து இந்தியா அந்த மாதிரி லேபர் இன்டென்சிவ் கண்ட்ரீஸ்க்கு வராங்க அப்படின்னா, பிகாஸ் we have ample labor here, we have ample skilled labor here, we have people who are able to work for a low salary here. ஸோ அதனால அவங்க இங்கே இன்ஃப்ராஸ்ட்ரக்சர் டெவலப் பண்ணிட்டு they are going to start. ஸோ அப்படிங்கிறப்போ the company, the head office may be in UK or US, but you employ people from India. Just imagine when the HR problems are there, financial problems are there, tax problems, salary negotiation, everything, you have two different countries coming together. So who will solve this issue? Definitely the international accountant. Then international flow of capital. So once you go out and earn money, you bring in capital here. So you want to invest in land, you want to start a business. So everything, flow of capital happens here. Then historic evolution and need for harmonization. So harmonization is a principle which will be discussed in the later topics. Scope of international accounting, what are the things that are involved? Foreign transactions, foreign currency translation, foreign inflation, consolidation of financial statements, and segment reporting. So these are all the topics that are covered under international accounting. Next, coming to the major international differences in financial reporting and their classification. Now here, when it comes to international accounting, the first problem will be language, because few countries, though the IFRS and GAAP insist them to follow the international standards, they will follow their own language. So Japan and the Mari countries எல்லாம் பார்த்தீங்க அப்படின்னா, ஜப்பான், ஸ்பெயின், அவங்கெல்லாம் வந்து they give importance to their mother tongue. ஸோ அப்படிங்கிறப்போ வந்து அவங்க லாங்குவேஜில் சில டேர்ம்ஸ் எல்லாம் யூஸ் பண்ணுவாங்க. ஸோ அந்த டெர்மினாலஜி, ஃபார்மேட், அது எல்லாமே கொஞ்சம் டிஃபர் ஆகும். ஸோ this is the major drawback when we go across borders. So how to break this drawback? Just explore and learn what is happening there. So when you want to start a business somewhere, அந்த கண்ட்ரியை பற்றி எக்ஸ்ப்ளோர் பண்ணுங்க, ஒரு அனலைசிஸ் பண்ணுங்க, அங்கே என்ன லாங்குவேஜ், அங்கே என்ன டெர்மினாலஜி, அங்கே என்ன கல்ச்சர் அப்படின்ட்டு லேர்ன் பண்ணீங்க அப்படின்னா டெஃபினெட்லி யூ கேன் டூ அ பிஸ்னஸ் ஓவர் தேர். ஸோ கம்மிங் டு தி அக்கௌண்டிங் கான்செப்ட், difficulty in understanding the financial statements prepared by non-English speaking countries. English speaking countries எல்லாருமே வந்து they follow a simple format. Non-English speaking countries are those who bring in trouble in making clear understanding of the accounting concepts. So அது பார்த்தீங்க அப்படின்னா France, Mexico, Spain, South Korea, Austria. ஸோ இந்த கண்ட்ரீஸில் எல்லாமே வந்து டிரான்சாக்ஷன் ரெக்கார்டிங்லேருந்து எல்லாமே வந்து it will be in their mother tongue. So people will feel difficult to understand. Then comes the problem of terminology. Terms, யூஸ் பண்ணுற terms in your balance sheet or profit and loss accountல யூஸ் பண்ணுற termsum vary ஆகும். இப்போ they have taken 3 focus countries, USA, UK and India, because major business is between these countries. So USA they call it as you have a difference in the language, US English, UK English, and Indians, of course, we have a combination of both, because we are expert in UK, we follow UK, but in if you want to go for MNCs and if it is a USA based company, we are ready to learn anything and everything. So USA they call it as inventory, UK stock, and India we follow it as inventory. And sales, turnover, sales, receivables, debtors, payables, creditors, retained earnings, reserves, provisions. And for profit and loss account, UK and India they follow as profit and loss account, but in USA they call it as statement of operations. Then format variation, manner in which assets and liabilities are presented in financial statements. In USA, they follow assets in order of declining liquidity. அதாவது most liquid asset கீழே கொண்டு போயிடுவாங்க. Most liquid assetனா cash in hand, cash at bank. அதுதான் most liquid asset. அதுக்கப்புறம் short term money market instruments அதெல்லாமே. ஸோ அதை வந்து கரண்ட் அசட்ஸ் எல்லாத்தையுமே கடைசியாக கொண்டு போயிடுவாங்க யூஎஸ்ல. ஆனால் யூகே ஜெர்மனியில் என்ன ஃபாலோ பண்ணுவாங்க அப்படின்னா இன்க்ரீசிங் லிக்விடிட்டி, அதாவது least first they will start with cash in hand and cash at bank, and finally they end with other furniture, fixed assets எல்லாமே அதுக்கப்புறம் வரும். ஸோ இந்த ஃபார்மேட் வந்து ஃபாலோ பண்ணுவாங்க. ஸோ நீங்கள் ஒரு ஜெர்மன் பேஸ்ட் கம்பெனியோட ஒரு பேலன்ஸ் ஷீட் எடுத்து பார்க்குறப்போ யூஎஸ் பேஸ்ட் கம்பெனியோட பேலன்ஸ் ஷீட் எடுத்து பார்க்குறப்போ அப்படியே ரிவர்ஸ் ஆர்டர் இருக்கும். ஸோ யூ ஷுட் நாட் கெட் கன்ஃபியூஸ்ட். ஸோ தட் இஸ் தி மெத்தடாலஜி தே ஃபாலோ இன் தி ஃபார்மேட். Next one is the timeliness of data. Now, timeliness அப்படிங்கிறப்போ ஒரு கண்ட்ரியில் ஃபினான்ஷியல் ஸ்டேட்மெண்ட்ஸ் ப்ரிப்பேர் பண்ணுறதுக்கு 3 months டைம் கிடைக்கும். இன்னொரு கண்ட்ரியில் ஃபினான்ஷியல் ஸ்டேட்மெண்ட் ப்ரிப்பேர் பண்ணி அதை ரிப்போர்ட் பண்ணுறதுக்கு they will take 6 months டைம். சில கண்ட்ரீஸில் 1 or 2 monthsக்குள்ளே they have to do. சில கண்ட்ரீஸில் இமீடியட்லி they have to do. ஸோ இந்த மாதிரி இருக்கிறது தான் டைம்லினஸ் ஆஃப் டேட்டா. அதாவது கம்பெனியோட ஸ்பெசிஃபிக் அந்த கண்ட்ரியோட இயர், ஃபினான்ஷியல் இயர் எப்போ எண்ட் ஆகுதோ அதிலிருந்து அதோட ஆடிட்டட் ஸ்டேட்மெண்ட் எப்போ பப்ளிஷ் பண்ணுறாங்களோ அதுதான். இன் இந்தியா யூஸ்வலி த ஃபினான்ஷியல் இயர் ends in March 31st. And by September, the audited statements will be available. So this is what they follow. So June, July, August, September, all they take, and it is almost 6 months period they give. And by September, you can find that audited statement with all approvals will be ready for analysis. Now, timeliness in data, various countries how they follow. Brazil, Canada, Mexico, South Korea, and US, they give 30 to 60 days. Argentina, Australia, Netherlands, New Zealand, Singapore, Sweden, Denmark, Finland, Norway, and UK, there it is 60 to 90 days. And Austria, France, Germany, Italy, India, Nigeria, it is about 90 to 120 days. Next comes to the availability and reliability of data. Now, there are some regulatory authorities. And the regulatory authorities இருந்தாதான் வந்து நம்ம ப்ராப்பராக யாருக்கிட்ட நம்ம ஃபினான்ஷியல் ஸ்டேட்மெண்ட் சப்மிட் பண்ணுறது கரெக்டாக, நம்ம ஆக்சுவல் ப்ராஃபிட்ஸ் தான் அதில் போட்டிருக்கோமா, இல்லை வந்து டேக்ஸ் சேவ் பண்ணுறதுக்காக ப்ராஃபிட்ஸை கம்மியாக காமிச்சிருக்கோமா, அசட்ஸ் லைபிலிட்டிஸ் எல்லாம் ப்ராப்பர் வேல்யூவில் காமிச்சிருக்கோமா. Now we have come across many banks, okay, that are shut down. So the reason is that the accounting statements, they have overstated the profits. அதை நம்பி தான் நிறைய பேர் இன்வெஸ்ட் பண்ணியிருக்காங்க. So one fine day, so without the knowledge of the owner of that particular bank, nothing can happen. So non-performing assets எல்லாம் ப்ராப்பராக வந்து ரெக்கார்ட் பண்ணாமல் இருந்தனால தான் வந்து the banks were closed down. So adanala you need to have regulatory authorities. There is regulatory authority in India also, but there are many loopholes. So when we talk about this, that will carry a different topic. So the countries, Australia, it is Australian Prudential Regulatory Authority. Austria, it is Financial Market Authority. Bangladesh, it is Securities and Exchange Commission. Canada, it is Canada Securities Administrator. China, it is Financial Supervisory Commission. Germany, it is Federal Financial Supervisory Authority. India, it is RBI and SEBI. Russia, it is Central Bank of Russia. UK, it is Bank of England. US, it is Securities and Exchange Commission. So this is how they come. Now, next coming to foreign financial statement analysis. Now here, when it comes to a different country's financial statement is lying before your table, how we are going to analyze? So you have many techniques that are being followed worldwide. So if you know such techniques, definitely analyzing a financial statement of a company belong to UK or US or China or anywhere, it is not a challenge for any accountant. So don't be scared that you're appointed for a company that has a head office in Spain and now the accounting statements are in front of you. Now you may have fun and working out problems, but when you go to the practical world, you may be scared because each and every mistake you make, it will count. So therefore, when you understand the techniques, definitely you can just follow them. Techniques one by one we will explain in the forthcoming classes, but now you just know what are all the techniques. So here they have given the requirements of decision makers with regards financial statement of MNCs with foreign affiliates. So investors, now they are the stakeholders. What kind of requirements they have? They have to make portfolio decision. What is portfolio? It is the combination of investment. எது எதுல இன்வெஸ்ட் பண்ணணும் அப்படிங்கிற டெசிஷன் தான் இன்வெஸ்டர்ஸ்க்கு. ஸோ அந்த டெசிஷன் எடுக்கிறதுக்கு they need the foreign financial statements. கிரெடிட்டார்ஸ்க்கு என்ன அப்படின்னா, when the firm is credit worthy அப்படின்னா தான் அவங்களால ஒரு லோனோ இல்லை கிரெடிட்ல ப்ராடக்ட்ஸோ கொடுக்க முடியும். So if it is not earning profits அப்படின்னா definitely they won't. So foreign financial statement பார்த்து தான் வந்து creditors will come to a decision. Then employees வந்து for collective bargaining. So you win, I win அப்படிங்கிற concept. When the company explores well and it has more profit winning capacity, then definitely the employees will have more salary and they have collective bargaining for salary and other perks to work in the organization. Regulatory and policy formulation bodies for taking controlling decisions. So the income tax authorities or the banking authorities or the government authority, everyone, they have to take controlling decisions, and the environmental society and all. Then environmentalist and social activist, social accounting. So CSR activities, how they are carried out is to be taken care. Then researchers, they have to learn how the industry moves, how the company moves, because they have to make an analysis of the economy as a whole. So researchers, they'll be in the process. They have to find out what is the GDP of the economy. Everything is being taken care. Then management. Finally, the management of the company, they have to make operational and financial decisions with the help of the financial statements available. So any country, they have all these requirements to make the decision. Next, coming to the prominent techniques. As I told you that don't panic when some new country's financial statement appears before you. You have techniques to be followed. Few techniques, they are horizontal or trend analysis. You take a common base, ஒரு particular year பேஸா வச்சுட்டு அதுல இருந்து எப்படி இன்க்ரீஸ் ஆயிருக்கு அப்படிங்கறத நம்ம ஃபைண்ட் அவுட் பண்ணலாம். Then vertical or common size analysis. இது பாத்தீங்க அப்படின்னா ஒரு காமன் பேஸ்ல இருந்து டிஃபரண்ட் சைஸ் எப்படிங்கிற அனாலிசிஸ் பண்ணலாம். Then ratio analysis. You have different ratios. Ratio is nothing but the relationship between two variables. So upper ratios இருக்கு for liquidity, solvency, profitability. So அந்த மாதிரி different ratios இருக்கு. அந்த calculationலயும் வந்து you can analyze. So these techniques usually we follow. And few new techniques that are followed அப்படின்னா economic value added. இது பார்த்தீங்க அப்படின்னா it will be helpful for the shareholders. Real economic value created என்ன, அதாவது ப்ராஃபிட்ஸ் இவ்வளோ இருக்குது, லாஸ் இவ்வளோ இருக்குது, அசட்ஸ் இவ்வளோ இருக்குது, எல்லாமே ஓகே. பட் வாட் இஸ் தி ரியல் எக்கனாமிக் வேல்யூ கிரியேட்டட் பை தட் பர்டிகுலர் கம்பெனிங்கிறது தான் இன்வெஸ்டர்ஸ்க்கு வேணும். ஸோ தட் வில் பி டன் பை தி EVA technique. Then market value added. So what in terms of shareholders value creation? So a company may be economically feasible, but how come it is successful in the market? So market value அந்த chart எவ்வளோ பேர் வந்து அந்த shares வாங்குறாங்க, எவ்வளோ பேர் சேல் பண்ணுறாங்க, எவ்வளோ பேர் வந்து they are able to trade hopefully. So everything has to be taken care. So managerial performance in terms of shareholders value creation. Then finally you have multiple discriminant analysis. இது பார்த்தீங்க அப்படின்னா இது வந்து ஒரு டெக்னிக் வேர் சயின்டிஃபிக்காக ஒரு கேல்குலேஷன் இருக்கும். ஸோ அந்த கேல்குலேஷனை வச்சு Z அப்படிங்கிற ஒரு ஃபேக்டர் இருக்கும். அந்த ஃபேக்டர் கேல்குலேட் பண்ணி அது வந்து ஒரு பர்டிகுலர் ஸ்லாட்டுக்குள்ளே இருந்துச்சு அப்படின்னா they can definitely say that it belongs to this level, or you can whether you can invest in that company, or whether that company is worth getting shares, or worth giving credit, or worth working. Everything will be taken care. So in the moon da vandu the latest techniques that are being followed. So this will be discussed in the coming chapters. So thank you for your patient listening of the international financial concepts and accounting in the global context. So where a brief description of how international accounting came into existence, how different methods are being used, and how to compare the accounting process, terms, language of different countries was discussed. Thank you.